Lights warm the white tent. Fairy lights tangled like constellations. Music hums low. A half moon of tables encircles a wooden dance floor. Laughter and the clink of glasses layer over a string quartet. Emma Rivers sits at the end of a long table beneath a canopy of eucalyptus and twinkling bulbs. Her wheelchair is polished. Her dress is a clean, tailored sheath that whispers of the boardroom rather than ballrooms. She watches the room like someone scanning a report, measured, efficient, slightly amused. Her hair is softly pinned. Her smile is practiced and kind, but it doesn't reach the small, guarded space within her eyes. Across the room, tiny hands tug at a man's sleeve. Michael Hart juggles a paper cup of punch and a small child who insists the flower grow basket is actually a spaceship. He's the kind of man who laughs easily and looks like he'd rather fix a leaking faucet than attend a corporate cocktail hour. But tonight he's in a rented suit, sleeves rolled back, sleeves that make his forearms look slower to admit they're tired. His daughter, Lucy, 6, is a rocket of energy in a tulle skirt, and he follows her orbit with amused patience. Emma watches Lucy trip and recover, the way Michael crouches and asks if she's okay. He looks up and their eyes meet. He gives a small, polite nod and a quick smile. It's a sort of exchange that could dissolve into nothing. But the servers cross the room with platters, laughter crescendos, and minutes later Michael is walking past Emma's table again. He hesitates, then turns back. Michael, soft. Mind if we sit here? Emma gestures. There's plenty of open chairs. But if you want the end seat, more legroom for dramatic exits, it's yours. Michael laughs. He sets Lucy on his lap. Her ponytail is smeared with cake frosting. Michael thanks. I'm Michael. Michael Hart. Emma Rivers. Pleasure. Lucy whispering conspiratorial. Are you a superhero? Emma smiles. Depends. Do I know how to make a spreadsheet fly? Lucy nods solemnly, convinced. They chat about inconsequential things. Weather, the taste of the cake, the band. Michael's laugh is warm and messy. Emma's laugh is controlled but genuine. Yet there's a soft barrier. Emma doesn't mention work unless asked, and Michael doesn't press. He asks instead about Lucy, about the small joys and small disasters of parenting, and Emma listens, intrigued. A slow song begins. Couples move to the floor like tides. A server encourages people to dance. At the next table, an older couple sways, the woman's head on the man's chest. Emma's hands tighten at her sides. She watches, wistful, as if seeing a future she built on other people's terms. Michael, you dance? Emma smiles, then honest, not lately. My last ballroom adventure involved quarterly reports and a crippling amount of coffee. Michael, you can sit here and criticize the steps. Or you can let the music do the talking. Emma, you asking me to dance? Michael, I'm asking if my daughter and I could have the honor of dragging you out there and possibly stepping on your hem. Emma looks at Lucy, who is already bouncing on her father's knee. She has a small skin knee, and in the way Lucy watches the dancers, she's waiting for permission to be brave. Emma's chest tightens. The room hums around them like an organism. She can feel people's eyes, curiosity, the faint pity some extend to a woman in a wheelchair, as if her presence requires explanation. She's tired of being explained. Emma, soft, I worry about being a spectacle. Michael, then let me be the spectacle. I'm very talented at awkwardness. Emma laughs. It's a sound that eases something like air through a tube. She accepts. Michael stands, and with careful hands he helps Lucy hop off his lap and onto the dance floor. He takes Emma's hand, gentle, not condescending, and guides her wheelchair to the edge of the floor. The band shifts into something light and lilting. They dance. Not the kind with sweeping turns and practiced footwork, but something intimate. Michael guides the wheelchair in slow circles. Lucy spins with a paper flower crown crooked on her head. People watch, some with surprise, most with approval. The couple at the nearby table claps. Emma's shoulders lower. Mid-dance, a flash of discomfort flickers across Emma's face. A childhood memory? A late-night boardroom fight? She pulls back slightly. Michael, you okay? Emma mutters, old habit. I still brace when someone reaches to help. Michael, you should brace for compliments only. I'm terrible at them, but I will practice. Emma smiles, you're earnest. That's disarming. Michael, I'm also uncoordinated and a little loud. That last part's hereditary. Lucy's got it too. Lucy declares she's hungry and runs to the dessert table before Michael can protest. He calls after her, but then returns his attention to Emma, his face softening. Michael, quiet. Why are you here alone? If you don't want to answer, I understand. It's nosy wedding energy. Emma, no, it's fair. The bride and I are former colleagues. She invited the whole office. I said yes because she asked. Then the invites kept arriving, clients, investors. I figured I'd come, do the duty, smile for the photos, and go back to my life. The truth is, I wanted to see a wedding that wasn't a staged networking event. I wanted to remember why anyone bothers with cake. Michael, what's the reason, Emma Rivers? Why bother with cake? Emma pauses. She looks at the band, at the spinning couples, at Lucy making faces at her father. Her voice softens. Emma, quiet. I used to think I could compartmentalize love, business over everything, intimacy later, when the numbers made sense. But life isn't a spreadsheet. You can't line up columns and expect feelings to fall underneath headers. I think tonight I wanted to prove I could still be part of the crowd without being swallowed by it. Michael and? Emma smiles. So far, I'm only partially swallowed. Michael chuckles. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a crumpled napkin. On it, in blue ink, he scribbles something. A childlike drawing of a stick figure, big grin, cape fluttering. Michael for the superhero who can make spreadsheets fly. He hands it to Emma. She studies the crude little figure and laughs, genuinely surprised. Emma, this is the kind of intellectual property I can get behind. Michael also, I'm asking properly now. Will you be our date? Not as a project, not as charity, as a person. Lucy wants a new superhero for her collection. And I was hoping to have someone steady beside us who's not allergic to chaos. Emma looks around. The marquee is a glittering lunette. Strangers are laughing. Two bridesmaids are doing a bad rendition of a hat dance, and the air smells faintly of lemon and rain. She thinks of the long hours she spent building an empire that often required walking away from anything messy. She thinks of the solitude at the top, how expensive it tastes, and how hollow sometimes. Emma, soft. I'm very busy, Michael. I sleep with my email on my phone because sometimes urgency smells like opportunity. Michael, I'm busy being a dad. I sleep with my daughter face down on my chest because sometimes bedtime smells like peace. We could be inconvenient to each other. We could be exactly what the other's missing. I won't make promises I can't keep. I will, however, make dinner that involves more than takeout once in a while. And I'll dance with your wheelchair when the band plays something good. Emma considers. Her expression folds open a little, as if sunlight found a seam in a closed umbrella. Emma, will you tolerate a woman who sometimes leaves social gatherings early to catch flights at 5 a.m.? Michael, I can tolerate a lot, but not absent text messages. If you're taking a red eye, I want a heads up and maybe a souvenir, preferably something edible. They laugh. The band finishes the song. Applause ripples. Michael leans close, an honest, gentle closeness that doesn't try to fix her. It simply includes her. Michael, so? Asked nicely, begged slightly. Will you be ours for the night? Emma nods, yes. They sit for the rest of dinner in companionable conversation. Michael tells stories about Lucy's first day of kindergarten, about knots he can untie without looking. Emma shares a memory of her grandmother teaching her to sew, a tiny ritual that didn't make the highlight reels of her life, but shaped her anyway. Lucy brings over a paper crown and insists Emma wear it. Emma indulges her, the crown slipping sideways. Photographers snap candids, smiles, a man with a camera too close. Emma doesn't flinch at the camera. Maybe she's tired of posing for portraits that ask too little. Later, on the terrace, there's a terrace-lit breeze. Guests drift in small groups, some whispering about promotions, and some about the couple's honeymoon plans. Michael stands with Emma, the cityscape like an intermittent heartbeat below. Lucy is asleep in his arms, small chest rising and falling. Michael whispers, You okay with kids? Emma, I'm okay with Lucy. Kids are honest. They accept you or they don't. Adults are harder critics. They have resumes. Michael, Lucy told me she wanted a superhero who could make spreadsheets fly and also cook pancakes. That's very specific criteria. Emma, I can cook. I cannot guarantee pancakes will be fluffy. My margins on fluff are thin. Michael laughs. I like that you have margins. He studies her like he's cataloging details he wants to remember. The night settles like velvet. For the first time in a long time, Emma allows herself to imagine a different calendar. One that includes dates scribbled not in block capitals, but in cursive. Pediatrician appointments, short weekend retreats, a clumsy dog maybe. Laughter that starts in the kitchen and ends on the couch. Emma, soft. I don't want pity, Michael. I won't let my life be misread as a tragic arc. I am not a plot device. Michael, you're not a plot device. You're a person whose life is interesting on its own merits. If anything, you've been doing the actual work of living, just a different kind than most people write about in magazine features. Emma smiles, something like relief passing through her. Emma, so what are the rules for this tentative partnership? Michael, no unsolicited advice about my DIY projects. No lecturing about tariffs over breakfast. Consent to being pulled into lame superhero scenarios. And, most importantly, honesty. If one of us is overwhelmed, we say so. No silent spreadsheeting. Emma laughs. Silent spreadsheeting. That's oddly specific and terrifyingly accurate. They exchange phone numbers that end up saved under Emma, superhero, and Michael, dad/chief pancake officer. They kiss, a brief, careful thing that tastes like tonight's champagne. It is, in the most pragmatic way, a beginning. As the last song slows, guests gather for slow dances. Emma and Michael join, Lucy awake again, insisting on finishing the night with a final swirl. They move together, not perfectly, but aligned. The night blooms around them. Confetti, slow smiles, the bride waving goodbye with her groom. When the lights dim to small points, Emma's phone buzzes with a message from a board member. She glances at it, almost compulsive, but then slides the phone face down. Michael watches. He knows an inbox can be an anchor. He presses her hand. Michael, you can respond when you land. Or not. The world will survive. Emma smiles truly. Maybe the world will be fine without my hourly oversight.